What's up? We are back. Eric, it's almost that day.
Yep. If we could have given you a plan to prepare for Murph, but Zach decided to get tattoos instead,
That's true. That's true.
which looks sweet.
Oh, thank you.
If you
Yeah.
need a tattoo, go to our cousin Jason.
Yeah, he definitely did awesome work. I love how he took like my just garbled, hey, I like ships and I like sailing things and I need some names in there. And he's like, "Oh, okay." And really threw a bunch of awesome stuff together.
Speaking of, so how many times have you been sailing?
Multiple times. So my Phil Seymour,
Yeah.
he had it was called a super sunfish, and
That you could fit two people on before it
if you're
tipped over?
lucky, if you're lucky. But I sailed that thing so many times that like I would go there and people are jet skiing and wakeboarding, and I'm like, I'll be on the super sunfish.
We saw there's a reservoir by us and
Hmm.
we have a lot of wind. And we saw a high school class out there and they were teaching them. So they'd have like two kids per sunfish,
All
which
right.
again was like borderline sketchy because anyone moves and it tips over.
Yeah, it was basically like Tommy Boy. Like,
Yep,
hey,
exactly.
quit playing with your dinghy. Oh! Yeah, that was me. I was out there. But yeah, you got to pirate up. You got to pirate up.
Yep. I know. I was curious because obviously I did the tall ship in
Oh yeah,
Chicago and I was like, I don't think I've ever seen Zach sail
I
anything.
I was also on the tall ship. I didn't work there, but I was
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
That's like what about Bob when he's like tied to the mast and he's like, I'm sailing.
Yeah. uh,
I just I just recently got a recommendation that we should watch that with the kids. And strangely enough, my kids watched it in school. I think they watched it in psychology class. And they were furious because it was like misappropriation of mental health and stuff like that. And so I have to go back and watch it because I don't know. I mean, I always thought it was funny,
it's
but
funny.
yeah, I'll tell you what. Like my kids just bring up so many things that I wouldn't even ever think of growing up in the '90s.
Hmm.
With the things we would say, things that we would do, and then I was like, we can't do that. We can't do that anymore.
I feel like that movie, though. I mean, it's a classic joke of like, here's the psychiatrist, here's the patient, who's supposed to be like crazy,
Yeah.
and then it reverses the roles.
Well, speaking of things that you can't say, so we're today we wanted to talk a little bit about Murph. So the traditional CrossFit memorial workout. And one thing that I wanted to get across to everybody that sort of drives me nuts is the
Like a
Murph.
pirate with a steering wheel on his
Yeah,
back.
like one of my favorite jokes that my kids probably are like, "That's inappropriate, Dad." Um, yes, but yes. So calling Murph the Murph. All right. So number one, actually, let's talk about what Murph is. And so this is a hero workout or hero WOD, and it's traditionally done on Memorial Day. Actually, I just found out that Jason Ackerman is possibly the one who started like that tradition.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Hmm.
they were doing it at CrossFit Albany, and it became a thing.
Interesting.
So,
You
but
know? Oh, yeah. Yeah.
what's that?
Well, I was gonna say there's whatever CrossFit gym up north of Chicago somewhere that maybe he went to, and it's like
Hmm,
the home of the double Murph.
the double.
I know. I don't know.
That's
They got a big
interesting.
sign on their
I'm gonna
on the
do
on the
a
building.
double Murph with cheese. We're gonna just keep adding on to it. But all right, so hero workouts in general, right? So these are usually military first responders who were CrossFit um, doers, CrossFitters that died in the line of duty. And so, and actually, we just and actually it can be a memorial workout even if they weren't. There was also the 10 people that died in Buffalo recently. They
Hmm.
did the Buffalo 10. But there's multiple workouts like this, and the list keeps getting bigger. But people who were CrossFitters that died in some fashion, and and so they're usually long and hard. Um, and so this one in particular is in memory of Navy Lieutenant Michael Murphy, who at 29 was killed in Afghanistan June 28th, 2005. And this workout was one of Mike's favorite, and he named it body armor from and from so this I'm reading this from a CrossFit workout day. And from here on, it will be referred to as Murph. Notice there was no the. In honor of the focused warrior and great American who wanted nothing more in life than to serve this great country and the beautiful people who make it what it is. So um, it's a workout, and it is in memory of them. And when we're doing these workouts, you know, we're that it's usually the struggle bus. So unlike a lot of CrossFit workouts where it is hard and fast, do like 10, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, these
Hmm.
things that really get you going. Usually these are a little bit heavier, a little bit longer, now looking in the 40 minutes uh, plus range, actually probably 35 plus range,
Hmm.
where it's more of like a slow grind. But yeah, uh, how often have you done Murph? Do you do it every year?
Yeah, I think I've done it every year since forever. I think the
Yeah,
first time I did it was at your gym. I didn't know what it was called. I'm pretty sure, if I remember
really.
correctly, because I remember it was like you can break up the reps however you want,
Yeah.
and we were using chalk to just write on the concrete,
Okay.
and I was just going by feel. So I'm like writing like, okay, now I'm at how many reps of pull-ups, and then
Oh,
like, okay, I did how many push-ups did I just do? Added to however many I already did, and it was just like a giant chalk drawing, and I was
that
just totally lost.
is possibly the stupidest idea on how to attack
Yeah.
a workout.
Well, okay. Let's just to be clear, it was your idea to do the workout, and you gave
Hmm.
zero guidance. It was just like you can break up the reps however you want. I'm like, okay.
I can see that. And to be honest, I probably did somewhat similar.
I'm pretty sure you did. Yeah.
Because you got to go, all right, yeah, I think I know my body pretty well, and I'll be able to keep
Yep.
track. All right, so this workout, we said it was a long one, and it is a 1 mile run, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and a 1 mile run. And this is and it's traditionally done with body armor or 20-pound weight vest if you have it. And so yeah, now like you were talking about, you can break it up. However, you can break up the middle portion. So you got the bread and the meat, and so
Hmm.
you go out for a 1 mile run. Then you come in and you do 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, and you can break that up however you want. So if you want to do 100, 200, 300, if you want to do so traditionally, yeah, don't do that. But you can do that 1, 2, 3, and then once you're done with all that, then you finish it off with another run. And if
Yep.
you can, you wear a weight vest. Now, there's a lot of fears of this workout, and people talk about it all year. And they're like, oh man, have you done Murph? And oh, we're going to do Murph. And I'm going to do Murph prep. And um, it is always funny, and I've actually thought of that too. And actually, I know that there was one year here that I think we did more push-ups. Like we did like a month leading up where we were doing push-ups every day, just to get comfortable doing them. Because 200 push-ups is a lot.
Hmm.
But definitely, when it comes to training, if this is a workout,
Right.
right?
Yeah. I mean, like, do you get terrified when Cindy comes up? Like,
Yes.
no. And
No,
okay,
no, no.
you are wearing a vest,
Right.
so that is added in. But still, like, as far as reps go,
Hmm.
you if you're doing CrossFit consistently, you are regularly getting into these rep ranges with whatever you're doing.
Hmm.
So it's really not that out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and
It's mostly mental.
even if you don't hit those rep ranges, you're either close or it's like it's just like if somebody goes and runs a 5K, you don't go out and practice 5Ks, right? You run a mile, you run a quarter mile, you run half mile sprints, you do all these other things, and then you go out and do it. You've built the capacity, and
Hmm.
I feel that like number one, you are if you are doing CrossFit consistently, there's no big deal. It's yeah, you're probably gonna be sore at the end, but really not much more than anything else that you might do. And
Hmm.
actually, when I get scared of workouts, usually workouts that are shorter, lighter, these are the scary ones. The so those hurt that you can really push to the pain cave where you are just breathing so hard, your heart is pumping out of your lungs. But anything that you're going to be doing for this long, and we're talking like 40 minutes ish, um, you intentionally can't, or actually unintentionally, can't move that fast,
Right.
right? Um, Now, all right, you had talked about the partitioning. So doing this workout, a lot of people go, I can't do that, right? What would be some of your suggestions if somebody is thinking that you can't do it?
Well, for one thing, I mean, to start with, you've got to scale the movements to
Mhm.
what you're able to do. So if you don't have pull-ups, then you're doing ring rows or jumping pull-ups. If you don't
Mhm.
have full body push-up, then on your knees or on rings or hands elevated.
Right.
So obviously there and like squatting to a box, whatever it is. Like there's no shame in that. Right? Just because it's a hero wad, like no, it's the same as everything
Yeah.
else. Do what you're able to do, especially for these rep ranges. Um, and then looking at your capacity in each movement. So if you have pull ups, but like how many reps can you do at a time?
Mhm.
How many can you string together for how long? Because if you've got to do 100 pull ups, if you can break it up into fives, sets of five, awesome. Sets of three, awesome. If not, then like jumping pull ups.
Right. Yeah. And actually, I would for a lot of people, I might not even do jumping pull-ups. I might go more like towards like a ring row or something like that. Only because well, so depending, you've got a bunch of pounding with your 2 mile run. Um and now we're getting a bunch of jumping with all your squatting. That might be so it is something to consider. And so depending
Mm-hmm.
on why you can't do pull-ups, right?
Yeah.
I think that that is something to take into consideration. um and but yeah, uh making this workout a challenge for you is all you need to do. And
Yeah.
I promise, if you do it, it's challenging.
Yeah. Like it, I feel like, I mean, I could butterfly pull up through all 20 rounds with a vest on. And if I did no vest and ring rows, it would still be extremely difficult.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
and knee push-ups even would still be pretty crappy.
Yeah, I mean, so just the volume, and the easier you make it, the faster you can go, which actually makes it even harder. You know,
Mm,
I think I've done it unpartitioned once where you did 100, 200, 300 in that order. So 100 pull-ups. And it was actually almost boring because you started out and yeah, maybe you get like 20 pull-ups or whatever you do. But then all of a sudden it just turns into like I'm doing one at a time for 100 freaking reps. And
yep.
then you go into your push-ups and your arms are already fried and you are now doing sets of like 3 on push on 200 push-ups. It took forever, and then you do your squats and your legs are fresh, and now you smash 300 squats, and even if you do those unbroken, your leg going out for that run is the most ridiculous thing. You're like, my legs don't work.
Yep.
And you've got a weight vest and you're like, I don't even know if I'm moving right now.
I did it once, and since I was doing all the pull-ups, I took the highest pull-up bar we had and stood on a box that I think I had it at like 30 inches to be up at this bar.
Oh my
So I
goodness.
couldn't even walk around. Like I couldn't get down off the box and climb back up. I'm just standing there
You're up on a
stuck.
pedestal.
This is stupid.
Everybody look at me. I'm not working.
Exactly.
That is hilarious.
So yeah, don't
Yeah,
do that.
but yeah, you know what? Actually, we even have for when we do Murph this this coming Monday, somebody was asking me because people can bring friends and family and whatever. We have a barbecue afterwards, and they're like, I have a friend that's coming, but they can't run. And yeah, we can throw them on a bike, we can throw them on a rower, things like that. But even better, I was like, you know what? Have your friend bring a bike, and if you wanted to run, um, then yeah, hop on the bike. It's okay. It's okay
Yeah.
to change it up. The idea is to work, everybody work together and get it done. You know, that group suffering,
Yeah.
just like working through stuff, high five somebody and do it how you're doing it. And when you're done, I can assure you that you have done enough.
Yeah.
We even, some people are like, hey,
I'm gonna grab a baby.
yeah, go ahead. That you can actually just share it with a partner. So um, do 800 meters together. So that counts as your full mile. So 800 for each of you, and then share the work. Do 5, 10, 15, 10 rounds each, and then going back out for the run. But all of it works, and I think that Hero Wads. What's up, Conlon? You're not even gonna let him be on camera? Oh yeah. Um,
And try
but
to get the camera.
now I just lost my train of thought. But
It all works.
oh yeah. So just any way that you want to do it. Now, oh, so that's what I was gonna say. When it comes to Hero Wads, yes, I do think that there is benefit to grinding through. And actually, this is one reason that we usually don't have very many Hero Wads in a normal class, right? Because if you do want to just grind through and take 40, 50 minutes to do it, it's not going to work. Like, number one, you're probably not going to be warmed up very well. Um, so, like, we can't get you a great workout
Yep.
with it, So maybe on a Saturday where we have a little bit more time or something like that, we did the Buffalo 10, and it's like, all right, you got about 40 minutes, but guess what? We got to warm up for deadlifts. We got to warm up for all this stuff. And even with Murph, right? It would be a horrible workout to do into a class and try and get it done in an hour, not because you can't get the workout done in an hour, because you want to prep. You want to get your legs moving, do a few runs, do some pull-ups, get some push-ups in, get everything prepped before you go, right?
You don't just
And
do a 1 mile warm up.
yeah, you definitely can, and I
Swing your
have done
arms
that.
on that second half mile.
Yeah, high stepping, get those knees going. That is a way to do it. It's not recommended, but yeah. So just figuring out how to do it, and yeah, you can grind through it, but we also want to be safe. This is a workout that could lead to rhabdo,
Hmm.
and so actually even jumping pull-ups. Um,
Yeah, that's what I was
j-
gonna say. Is that's where people really get rhabdo. So
mhm.
making sure that you know what you're doing with jumping pull-ups.
Yeah, and just basically overdoing what you're doing. And actually, I feel like the unpartitioned can actually bring up rhabdo um, more than doing the Cindy style. So actually,
Yeah.
um, a couple ways, and I have a couple of these written down, and these are some options that we've given people. But I think that when you're doing Murph, the best way for everyone to do it is 5, 10, 15. So 20 rounds of 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats. Now, because it can be partitioned any way you want, so there's a few things that you can do. And number one is break it into smaller sets. All right. So now you can do 33 rounds of 3, 6, 9. So 3 pull ups, 6 push ups, 9 squats. And then you do one set of 1, 2, 3. All right. Then we've got the leg saver where you do 5, 10, 20. And then you do 5 rounds of 5 pull ups and 10 push ups. So basically, you're getting your squats done early so that when you go back out for your run, your legs are fresh.
Yeah,
So
you aren't coming straight off the squats.
yeah, so this is a great way to do it, especially if your runs are your Achilles heel. Now, most people, I would say the push-ups are are the big killer. All right,
Yeah.
so yeah, pull-ups are difficult, but if you're doing it like this, 5 is not a huge number, and you've got quite a bit of rest before you have to come back and do it again. And um, so the push-ups, that 10 reps, it starts out great, even if you're pretty good at push-ups, and it starts to die. And that's usually people's limiter. But so you can do the 20 rounds again, but instead of starting with pull-ups, you do 5 push-ups, then 5 pull-ups, then 5 push-ups again, and then 15 squats. So you're still getting your 5, 10, 15 every round, but you're breaking up those push-ups so you get a little bit of rest in between. So you get that push-pull continuously.
Yeah.
But so just a few ways that you can do it. And but like I said, I think that the 5, 10, 15 is one of those things that I think most people um, like it's going to be their best option.
Yeah. Yeah, and the easiest to keep track of. Which,
That's
speaking
huge.
of, everyone's always like, I need a board, I need something to write with to keep track of my rounds.
Hmm.
My method, and Jason Kalipa confirmed that he loves this idea. You say your rounds out loud. Yell them out loud because then, one, you remember better, and two, the person who's trying to beat you will also remember and will make sure that you don't mess up.
That is hilarious. Have you done that?
Yes, absolutely.
Hmm. I like
It
to.
when you say them out loud,
Mhm.
you do not forget. If you keep it in your head, you get all confused.
That's pretty interesting. I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah, Jason Kalipa posted a few years ago. What's your favorite method of keeping track of rounds? I said that. He was like, "Yep, that's a great way." So,
That's awesome.
confirmed.
I love it. All right, so weight best.
But oh, I was going to
Go ahead.
say about push-ups
Yeah.
because that is typically the limiter. Um I was like if you start to slow down, if your rep like pushing up slows down, that's where you
Hmm.
stop
Yeah.
and take a break. So I know for myself, usually I'll get like 5 rounds in where I can do 10 at a time. And then I start to feel it slow down and I'll do like 7, take like 2 breaths, and then finish them.
Yeah.
Because I know like you can feel where like you need to stop because you've
Yeah.
got a ton more to do.
Yep. That's a great tip. And that's anything in this workout. You have a lot of reps, you never go to failure. You know, even in the run, right? All you have to do is go fast enough that you can keep going. And
Mm-hmm.
then at the very end, the last 400 meters, 200 meters, you figure out, can I go a little bit faster? And same kind of thing. Yeah, if you are in the fifth round of 20 and you're failing reps, you're in big trouble.
Yeah,
So
or like
start.
grinding reps,
Oh yeah,
like like you don't want to be there. This is
absolutely.
a an ego check for sure. Of like it you're not doing it better because you're failing.
Right. Actually, along those same lines, let's talk about some standards. So yes, uh, do it however you want. But when I say do it however you want, modify the numbers, the distance, things like that, however you need to, or share it however you need to. But part of grinding is doing the whole rep, right? And so pull-ups. If so, just like you were talking about, if you're failing reps, or if you're getting your chin to here instead of here, no rep. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I don't usually no rep people, and especially on a day like today, I wouldn't. But this is integrity. Like this is, it's not even about how much stronger you get from this workout or something like that, because this is a test. This isn't training, right? And what we want to do is test our resilience, test our endurance, test our muscle endurance. And we don't do that when we start changing how we're doing it. So,
Well, that I would say even that is failing the test.
all right, yeah.
If this is a test day, it's like, can you get through this long, grueling workout while maintaining your standards?
Hmm.
And if you aren't holding yourself to those standards anymore, then you have failed the test.
One of the biggest things that I see on this is the push up. And people start out with their push ups. And I'll tell you what, I don't know how many times we've went over it, and we start class and we go, like, I make people put their nipples on the ground. I'm like, put your nipples on the ground, make sure you're touching. And all right, you guys see that? And you guys feel that. All right, now push up. And so our standard is chest to the ground, and specifically nipples. And like 2 rounds in, it's like half push up or belly. Your belly is
Yep.
not the same as your nipples. All right. So get your chest on the ground. And yeah, I feel like people just try and go faster, and that changes all the time. Now, obviously, you can see that
Yep.
in your squats too. People love to get shallower and shallower on their squat. But if you start with your hips going below your knee, then finish with hips going below your knee. And I feel like
Yep.
those are the little things that really brings out the integrity of it, right? It's not the amount of numbers. Like, hey, let's break this in half, and now we're doing 50, 100, 150. That was hard to do in my head. but and but let's keep all the reps honest. And I think that doing the work that you set out to do is that grind, not the numbers that you're doing.
Yep. Yeah, I think the squats, especially if you're wearing a vest, you
Mm.
start to see people just bending over, just doing
Yeah.
like a good
Good
morning, just
morning.
like wait. You
Yep.
got to get your hips down.
Your butt didn't
And
move.
it burns,
Yep.
right? Like hinging is a way to make your quads stop burning, but that's not the point.
Right. I love it. All right. So now, all right, you're wearing a vest. Who should you wear a vest? Should you not wear a vest?
I think that goes back to just like the movement standards and your reps of like how many reps of pull-ups can you do with a vest on?
Hmm.
How many push-ups can you do with a vest on? So I would say most people, if you've got a vest and you want to wear it, you could wear it during the run and then take it off for the rest of it and put it back on for the run if you are really jonesing to wear a vest.
Actually, I
But if you
like that
don't have
idea.
reps, yeah, like if you don't have the reps on the pull-ups and push-ups, do not, because I mean you're just putting way more force on your shoulders than they're used to,
Hmm.
and if you are don't have the strength to do those reps anyway, that's that's a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I never even thought about that, and that's so simple but effective. Go
Mm-hmm.
get that little grind. But I'll tell you what, like, if you aren't doing very much running and then you go and do a couple miles and do it with a vest, it's a lot of pounding. So if you run
Yep.
crappy, it's probably a bad idea to use the vest. And like you said, if you don't have those reps with pull-ups, um, and even with the push-ups, lots of times we see the push-up end up going like this, like
Yep.
and we want to like you're putting yourself in a horrible position and doing lots of reps um and it's weighted. It's like, all right,
Yep.
that's a recipe for disaster. And yeah,
Yep.
when you're coming down from a pull-up, you are possibly coming down at multiple times your body weight already, and now you put a little bit extra on there. So yeah, definitely, I would say that most, and yeah, I would say most people, if you haven't done Murph, um, RX. So, and by RX, I'm going to say like no vest. So, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, but full range of motion, all that. Weight vest is out. And just do that first and make sure that we've got that and then start doing it. Now, there's some people, I know even just a few people that I've talked to recently here that they've got pull-ups, they've got weighted pull-ups, they run all the time. It's like, go ahead and do it,
Yep.
but it should not be the first thought that, hey, we need to put a weight vest on for this workout because it's
Right.
going to be hard anyways.
Yep. Yeah, and maybe you look at Cindy. How many rounds of Cindy can you do?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Something, something.
can you do 20 rounds of
Yeah.
Cindy? And so Cindy is 5 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, 15 squats, and it's a 20-minute AMRAP. So now you're doing a round a minute of those reps already. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's definitely a good place that you can start there. Um, Now, so well, we talked about a rhabdo, all right, because with all these fears of Murph, like what in the world can happen? um, what are some of the things that you've seen that are like that can be the problems with Murph?
I mean, obviously, yeah. The brutal soreness, which we always did it on Saturday
Hmm.
because people were typically not available later in the weekend.
Yeah.
So, if you do Murph on Saturday and you've got T Rex arms the rest of the weekend, I guess it's okay if you're only drinking beer and you don't have to straighten your arm. But I will not be able to hold a baby. You won't be able to, I don't know, play cornhole because you can't straighten your arms.
Yeah.
So those are things to think about. Like, what else do you want to do Memorial
Right.
Day weekend? And are you about to ruin all of your plans by going too hard on Murph?
Yeah, and actually, I feel like that often comes from doing it unpartitioned. So doing those large sets, it can really make you sore faster.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Coming down really slow, and actually, I see a lot of people doing that. So if they're doing jumping pull-ups, so jumping and then they come down and they're like, "Eh," and I don't know why people do it on jumping pull-ups because you can just fall. Your feet are almost on the ground.
Yep.
But that can be a big thing when you're doing that, and um, that is where you can get rhabdo, which is a condition where you overtrain your muscles, and they can start to break down and
Yep.
make you sick and even die. But the other thing is that usually Memorial Day, it's going to be hot. So I think that number one, make sure you have a good breakfast. Make sure you are hydrated before. Make sure even if you just need a hat, to stay out of the sun. Don't be afraid to take a little bit of rest when you need it. You don't have to just absolutely murder yourself. It's
Yeah.
just, hey, just do a fun workout.
And salt, salt your water
Hmm.
if you want to, salt your food. Make sure you get your electrolytes after that.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I think that when it comes to Murph, just, um, it is just a workout, and you can use it as a test. It is one of those things that we repeat. So it is fun to see how did I progress this year with Murph. Hey, maybe I was doing ring rows. Maybe I was doing it half. Maybe I did my first Murph by myself. Now I'm wearing a weight vest. Now I'm getting my time faster. Those are all fantastic. But the idea is to get out with the community, and you guys are going to do this struggle together in memory of people who have sacrificed for us.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the real like meaning behind any of these workouts. And it's definitely nothing to be afraid of, because just like every other workout that you walk into at a CrossFit gym, you're going to get through it.
Yep.
Right? We're going to get you through it somehow. And actually, one of the things that we've done is that nobody finishes alone. So if you are done and somebody's going out on their run and they're by themselves, then somebody has to pick it up and go with them.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that is the fun of it. And really, that goes to show you, after somebody does it, they go, all right, I'm going to go finish this mile with you. It's like, oh, you had more in you. And almost everybody, it doesn't matter like abilities or anything like that, they do it. And I think that is one of the coolest things about this event in general is you get to see how much you can push, and how much more you actually have than what you think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Again, like it's just getting rid of the ego with this. That like you're doing it in memory of other people who have sacrificed. You're doing it with a bunch of other people. So getting bent out of shape about how you scaled or you didn't get the a better time than last year, like that's not what it's about.
Hmm.
So
But
keeping that focus in the right spot makes it way more enjoyable.
right, but I probably beat you. I would bet.
Mm, I don't know. Probably not my best time.
Do you have any clue what your best time is?
I'd have to look it up.
Yeah.
Maybe if I had it written down. I think it was under 30 minutes.
Ooh, that's fast. Now is that Novas?
I think that was, or maybe under 40 minutes. That would make more sense.
Because I'm thinking. So yeah, if you did,
Yeah, it
um,
must be. I would guess around like 36 or 37 minutes.
I can see that. Now no vest or with a
No,
vest?
with a
Ooh, that's cruising. Yeah, I don't actually know. I know that I'm somewhere around 40ish, but I so actually most of the time that I've done it, I was I was running the event. So I either like did it
yeah,
like afterwards or something like that.
yep,
And it was very uh it was very not fun. It was like I'm by myself. People are like chatting and having some food, and I'm okay, round
yep,
20. I'll see
yep.
you guys in a little bit. But yeah,
That
so
was, I think, a few years we did like all the coaches would do it, whatever, the day before or something, and then
mhm. That's a cool
supervise.
idea. But yeah. Well, yeah, it's a fun time. I'm super excited. Any of you CFCHers out there, Don't forget to register for it. Let us know how many people are coming. We got our barbecue afterwards, so we want to make sure we got stuff for everybody. It's going to be a good time. And you guys just enjoy yourself. It's nothing to be scared of. It's just hard. And we do hard things.
Yep.
Hashtag. All right, Eric. I will see you next week. Have a
All
great
right.
Memorial Day.
Yeah, you too.
All right,
See
see ya.
ya.